Welcome to Done Deal.
Welcome to
Why do you mock me so?
Who's mocking you? I was being loving and caring.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
I was being caring and loving and all of the good stuff.
Nice. Well,
Okay, I have officially simulcast. I had to make sure that was up and running. Let
oh, okay. Merry, merry, happy, happy.
me just make
Joe
sure.
sounded a little tipsy. They want to know if you've been into the eggnog.
No, I do not drink. Unfortunately, I do not drink. So I am never tipsy. I can never blame being drunk ever.
No, no drunk defense.
Nope, no drunk defense.
Yes, thank you, Big Ben. Yes, absolutely. VaporJoe's Canada, 3 million hits this week, and VaporJoe's, the original, 19 million, staring 20 down the barrel. Thank you, Dave. Yeah, I don't know. People keep saying goth lately. That's been coming up a lot, and I don't know what it is. It's got to do with the season. When it gets to be winter and the sun is setting so early and the days are so short. I don't know. I kind of just go for the darker kind of. You're Muslim. Okay, we're leaving that alone. Um, and yes, Cat 100 Tiger got a new mic. I am having problems, as many of you know, with the input and output on the audio on my computer. There was absolutely no way to use a wired mic, so I've been struggling by with the Bluetooth. You guys are having no end of trouble hearing, so I did spring for a USB wired headset this week, and it seems to be doing the job.
Yeah, Fast Tech overnighted her microphone because they love how much she pushes them, and it was awesome. It's really awesome.
No, this is not fast tech this time. No fast tech involved. It's Plantronics all the way. It's their like total bargain entry level, but it's working. It's good.
Yeah, you sound great. It's great. The other one is good when you're in the hangouts doing whatever. You can get up and walk away. But for the show, I think this is perfect. It sounds really good, and
Hmm.
makes your voice sound even sexier.
Oh,
And
wow.
I do like the new goth look. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
okay.
I'm kidding. She doesn't have a goth look. She has a sexy, foreboding look. Like she's gonna rip your ass apart. The,
Yeah, okay. Whatever. Oh, I like Tube Guy's comment. He doesn't drink either because he breaks out in handcuffs. You and a lot of folks, you're in good company. Dave got a new piece of jewelry. No, I've had this for a while.
She completely had it for a while.
Right, Joe?
Absolutely.
So what is going on, people? The lip ring? Okay, all right. Should we talk about that?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it. I told you they're going to ask.
Um, it, it's not the real deal. I'm trying it on. It's actually just a captive ball ring, but without the ball. It just slipped. Because this is what I do when I'm thinking about a new piercing. I just try it on for a while and see what I think if I can live with it. So,
Now, I told her, last night I was like, you would. Well, actually, when I first met her, I told her she would look beautiful with snake bites or spider bites or even just a lip ring. And she, we've thrown it around a few times, and then I'm like, so what's going on? Get the lip ring around it. You're gonna look great. So last night she grabs one of her captive balls, takes the ball out, puts it on the side, and I'm like, oh my god, you look so good. And what she's gonna do is she's gonna wear it around for a week. If she liked it, she'll get it. So what do you guys think? Do you think she looks
oh,
good with the lip
are
ring?
we
I think
throwing
she
it
looks
through a
great.
bowl? We
I think
did
she looks awesome.
try to for the spider bites, but it was actually it looks really cool on a lot of people, but it was a little much, a little too industrial. So, good idea.
Yeah, I don't, if somebody says they don't like it, I don't. Oh, there's one person that says they don't like it. Most people are saying they like it, and you have such a
We'll
defined
see.
upper bottom lip that It's
Oh,
accentuating.
Gar, that's the least of my worries. That's the good thing about piercings. See, if you do decide you don't like it, you take it out and you're left with a tiny dot. There's really no commitment. To the person, Big Bam, I don't think she'll get one. I don't think she has a tattoo, do you, Tiger? Yes, yes, I do.
She
And I'm
can't
thinking
show
about
you on
another one of
cam.
those too. No, it is
She can't
on
show
my, it,
It's on
it
her. It's in an area she can't show.
is on my lower leg below my knee on the
I'm kidding.
side.
It's actually very cute. She showed me once in a very, very private hangout.
Every time I wear short pants, it's
I'm
whatever.
trying to make this
No.
funny. It's not working.
The Monroe is the other one that I kind of like. I just haven't decided.
You can't fake a Monroe though, right?
Thank you, Lisa. 50 something granny. You must be one of those super cool grannies. Savage Man got the magnets from DX for the Nemi, working good with just two, even with the Russian. Excellent. Okay, I was using, when I set it up, what was I testing with? I think I had, what would it have been? I think it would have been the, trying to think. It probably would have been one of the AGA T2s, which is not a light atomizer, and it would have been full. And I was just finding it was kind of iffy. It wanted to fire. So I did the three, and it does make for a firm switch, but it was okay for me. I've got the little dripper on it now. In all honesty, I could probably get away with two now. Not worry about it. But yeah, whatever it's working for you. And Joe's disappeared again. We've been having trouble ever since we started to get organized to start the broadcast. He's been dropping in and out, so I don't know what's going on in Jersey
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah. There's. I don't know what's going on in Jersey right now, but it just seems like every once in a while it's like poop gone. Like I don't know.
all right, well, you know the way back, so we'll just let you handle it. Max, it's not a new piercing. It's a new piercing test. It's just actually a ring that's sort of sitting there, and I'm deciding if I can live with it or not, or if I really want to go there. Did anybody ask yet what is Boxing Day? Okay, okay, okay. This is news to me this year. I thought Boxing Day was sort of a universal thing, but Joe's telling me, no, no, what is this thing you do? Well, Boxing Day is kind of for Canada like Black
Yeah. What's this?
Friday is for the US. It's the
This
day
voodoo magic you
day
do.
after the festival when everything goes on sale and consumers go bananas and people get trampled and yeah, it's craziness. There we go. And Big Bam Boob is our resident wiki.
Now, does that mean you can come and put yourself in a box and come here?
No, it does not. But you're welcome
But
to try it.
they don't. We don't have Boxing Day here in America. Anything called Boxing Day would probably be something dealing with Mike Tyson and a rematch or something. We don't.
Hmm.
We don't do anything like that here. But I think it's a cool idea, and it's so cool that Fast Tech is going to have a sale on it. You hear about this?
Yeah, yeah. Just
That was crazy. I was looking around the groups, and there was a Boxing Day sale, and well, not yet. It's not happening yet. It's going to happen in a couple days. But I'm like, wait a minute. Fast Tech is honoring a Canadian tradition. I'm like, Tiger's going to be so happy.
so. Bastard, I thought there was 20 of the VTRs. No, I could be mistaken, but I could have sworn that's what I read earlier. But
Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of. I'm sure we'll talk about this in a little bit. It was just kind of funny when you brought up Boxing Day because I'm like, they're actually having a sale for this. It's the first Boxing Day sale I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, there you go. Lisa says it's around the world. I knew it was UK for certain, and countries that have UK influence. Um, so, so there you go, Joe. It's
Well, I'm going
Black
to stick with
Friday.
my.
It's Black
I'm going
Friday.
to.
That's the
I'm
Black
going to stick
Week.
with my Black Fridays, inches, and Fahrenheit. Damn it.
Oh, Oh, Video Dave. Now that is interesting. I assumed, okay, Video Dave just ordered a hammer mod from FT, from Fastech. There seems to be two different styles. He's saying the one with the extra tube seems to have a different fire button. What is this all about? That is an excellent question, Dave. I was unaware of that. I assumed we were dealing with the exact same piece of equipment. So you've got me scrambling, and I can hear Joe typing too. So let's have a look-see. No, it's the same fire button. It's just that it's moved to the end of the tubes. You see, when you put those tubes in to extend it, now your fire button has to move, right?
Right. Yep, that's all it is. It's just the switch has been moved on top of the tubes because you have to make room for the 18650. That bottom switch has to go down because you have to put the 18650 in there, or the whatever extended battery you're going to put in there. So it is the same switch.
Mm-hmm.
I have, to be honest with you, I have them with the extent that actually I have one. Hold on, let me see if I actually can find it. Yeah, here it is with the tube. Now, in my hand, in that picture, it looks huge, doesn't it? In my hand, this is the chai hammer with the biggest tube on it. Okay, it's this big. It's teeny.
They look so much bigger. Mind you, okay, you've got great big hands. That may look totally different in somebody else's hands.
It's just, it's meant to be a pipe mod. It's not meant to be this huge honking. When we hear hammer, we're expecting this thing to be a massive, bobblehead thing on it, and it's really not. I have to say though, it's heavy. It's real heavy.
And now I'm looking. I do apologize, you guys. It was the some of the other items that I was seeing. I got my wires crossed, but there was 20 of. There are only 10 of the VTRs. So it is going to be a bit of a scramble. It is a door crasher kind of situation. So good luck.
Yeah. Now those who buy, now that I'm playing with this, those that haven't gotten one of these, be careful. Thick batteries will not fit in here. The MNKE barely fits in here width-wise. You like if you have a rewrap battery, like something like an Ultrafire, will not fit in this.
Okay. Now, and the caution, of course, with that is don't put a battery in there that has a snug fit. You do want just a little bit of room. Now, I'm not talking crazy rattle, but you want that battery to slip in and out easily. You want that battery to have just a smidge of room to swell if it needs to, in the event that you're having a battery meltdown.
Right. And if you see this MNKE, you got to push it in, and then when you put the tube on, there's a gap.
I would definitely opt for a different battery than in that particular device.
But I'm not gonna. I just got one because I thought they were cool, and I always wanted a hammer of Kato. Refused to pay, $300 or whatever it is, so I can beat up this thing. And to be quite honest with you guys, you could beat somebody up with this. This thing is boom. Lights out.
Dave wants to see the fire button. If you can get that.
Sure. On the mod, or this is on top of the tube. That's the fire button.
And show us the top, the detail.
Sure.
Oh, well, wait a minute. That is different. That is a different design than I'm seeing.
Isn't it? It kind of looks like the same spirally star, isn't it?
Is it a spirally star? Oh, just what showed up in your camera. Okay, looked like a Chinese symbol there for a second. I must have looked away at the wrong time. All right. Oh,
Yeah,
and Vape Dude has news. Vape Royalty, the Poldiac clone, is live now at Vape Royalty for $54. Those guys are in my bad books. I don't want to talk about Vape Royalty. They won't ship to Canada. We will speak of it no more.
Well, I do have one bad thing to say about those Poldiac clones. Smokey has one. I held one in my hand. They're very, very close. However, there's one major flaw on these. The threads are very thin. Every time Smokey dropped it, it would pop apart. the head and the body tube would just fly apart. Those threads
Hmm.
don't catch and hold.
I'm hearing what you're saying, and until I have one in my hands, I've been very quiet about that. But I'm going to be blunt. I don't think throwing your mod on the floor is a fair assessment of whether it's good or not. And if I can't pull it apart, I'm not going to fault it.
Well, no, no. He just lightly dropped it on the carpet,
Mm.
and originally what happened was you have to load the battery from the bottom. If you try to load the battery from the top, and you put, because there's a spring in there, you push down and you turn it to close it, it pops. It will pop off the tube. The threads just between the pants and the head are so thin that
Mm.
sometimes they will slip off.
Not enough tooth,
Right.
not enough overlap.
That's the only issue. Smokey's afraid he's gonna hold it there and it's gonna pop like a jumping jack.
Well, Lisa in Central Texas. The Fast Tech Kodiak is a different animal altogether. It's kind of unfortunate they even used that word to say they cloned because it's a very,
It's
it's not
terrible.
a clone. It's not a clone. It might be inspired by the Kodiak, but it is in no way a clone. Clone to me indicates they've made some effort to actually, like, replicate the device. That is by no means a replica. It's
It's like
yeah,
saying
it's a different animal.
an ego twist is a proberry.
Yeah.
About all it does is they both do variable voltage, and that's where it ends. Now, I'm gonna go on your website, Tiger.
All right. Yeah. Hey, let's talk about. Well, we've kind of talked a little bit about some deals, a little bit, but let's talk about some of the deals from the week. Because
It's been an interesting week. We had very, very interesting things. The one thing I wanted you to talk about was the one mod that you fell in love with and you bought.
hmm I did. And for those of you who've been on Facebook, you probably saw me talk about it. Oh, well, now wait a minute. There's two. There's two that qualify, but I'll start with the one that I had queued up. So let's talk. Let's talk about the Slimsy. Now, that one popped out this week, came available. After looking for 15 minutes, you like it. Well, thank you. I'm still not sure. It takes me a long time. I'm very waffly. We'll see. Um, this I originally said hybrid because the first pictures I saw, as you can see here, I'm going to cut over to this picture so I can highlight what I'm talking about. Right here, they're showing the atomizer, and this darker portion here is threaded to fit into the tube right up there, right? So I'm going, hey, I'm looking at a real hybrid. This is cool. Not quite. What's going on there is you'll see the lighter band there. That's actually the top cap of the mod. And then there's a line there. Where that line is, you actually have a 510 connection going on in there. So it's not a true hybrid. It's definitely a hybrid look. And, in a way, it's kind of cool because it allows you to use other 510 devices if you want to on this 14500 mod. So, and for those of you who've been around a little bit, I'm crazy about my little 14500s. I love my little Bagua, and so I was pretty excited about this. I've been anxiously awaiting this coming out, watching it, and so when it came out this week, I got pretty excited. Do I prefer it? I'll let you know when it comes. Like I haven't got this yet. The order is just placed, so it's going to take some time. But we've actually shown now, Big Bam, I knew you would be all over this. Okay, so this is the one from Fast Tech that you've given the link for. Now, the Fast Tech one's coming in a little cheaper. Because of manufacturer restrictions, they're not allowed to show you this product and list it for less than 65 bucks. They're finding ways around it. The first place I featured came out with it it was 58.50 after our Focal e-cig VaporJoe's coupon. So that was Focal e-cig. So for those of you and you're out there like that just really despise Fast Tech for whatever reason, you do have another option. It's about, $3.50
Welcome.
more. But Fast Tech found a way around it as well. And the link that Big Bam has given you there has the coupon code in it that'll take this from $65. It'll knock $10.10 off. You'll get it for $54.90 free shipping. So I will definitely be talking more about it when mine comes, but I'm hoping it'll be as nice a vape as my. Yeah, exactly, Savage Man. The little Bagua with the AGT, that's exactly how I run mine. It's a killer vape, and it's so compact and cute. I like it.
Now, I've been saying that this is actually um, its own design. Um, Now, I'm looking at Super Team Manufacturing. I'm trying to see if this may be a clone of something from Super T. I don't see it. Somebody says, "Oh, it's a clone from this and this." I'm not. I'm not getting it. They're claiming this is their own device, a true China innovation. I don't know how innovative it is, but it's definitely something that China made on its own, at least in my opinion. And yes, I am definitely looking for lip blocking with the piercings. Sorry, but
Uh,
so it's its own product, and you know what it is? It's people are like, oh, it's so expensive. It's like, you know what? They're trying. They make their own product. Everybody bitches that China clones everything, and then when China doesn't clone, it's too expensive. It's like, pick something. You can't have the best of both worlds.
well, it is on the more pricey side for China for this, but it looks like it's nicely made. It looks like the atomizer is well thought out. For a tiny little atomizer, that is built for a dual coil. It's a dual coil Jenny. You got two wicks down there. Will I build mine that way? On a 14500 battery, odds are not. Um, I just, I'm pretty straightforward with my builds. I don't get too fancy. I just find, keep it simple, sweetheart. I use the KISS rule, keep it simple, sweetheart, and stuff works for me.
I think
Now,
it's keep it simple, stupid.
well, I know, but I kind of friendlied it up a little bit. Um, so someone asked me, where was it here? It looks very slim, Lisa said. It is. It is. That's what it's going to look like. This is the Bagua, okay? This isn't the Slimsy, but that's going to be what you can expect because it's a 14500, okay? Now, to give you a comparison, that's the 14500 against an Ego Twist, okay? So you know what you're dealing with there. And I'll show you what it looks like against a Nemesis as well. So you can compare to roughly 22 millimeter device. There you go. There's the bottom of the Nemesis. So, it's in between it, but it's just a nice little, the whole thing measures, let me see. The Bagua clone start to finish is 73 millimeters. And for those of you who that makes no sense to, I'm going to tell you it is 2 7/8 inches. Now, the Slimsy, will it be about that? I would expect it to be similar. Um, there may be a little bit of difference depending how they've put together stuff, but
This is definitely for smaller hands. I saw Corey last night brought out his Penelope, and it looked like it vanished.
Piccolo.
Gone, vanished, done.
Piccolo, the Penelope's an atomizer.
I'm sorry, the Piccolo.
Mhm.
You're right.
I love those though. I remember one of our Canadian reviewers, Eva Woman, showed the Piccolo some time ago, and I just fell in love with that at that time. So I've kind of had a thing for the little 14500s ever since.
Yeah, you want to laugh. There's you remember the company Lambo? Lambo.
Well, yeah, kind of. Less of a remember and more of a have heard tell. Yeah.
Well, Lambo was big on making the original lava tubes. They made the black one, and then they came out with the chrome lava tubes. They kind of vanished. They made the Transformer, which was the lava tube and the GG clone kind of mixed together. It was a complete flop, and they kind of vanished. Well, since we're
Actually,
on the
The chrome Lambo was my very first mod, and it was gifted to me. It was pipped to me by a local vapor. Uh, Very, very appreciated gesture, and it was later pipped in turn to another new vapor.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, they're back, and since we're on the 14500 kick, I know this isn't to do with deals, but it's a bit of news. They come back with a 14500 Lambo, a variable wattage, variable voltage, 14500 replaceable, um, teeny tiny Lambo. Just came out. Some guy in Poland has, I don't know exactly, we can get them in the States or Fastec or anything right now, but Smokey was telling me about it, and it's a mini Lambo that takes a 14500, and it rocks, they said. And I'm looking forward to it. And he's the guy in Poland selling them for $23 shipped. So I may pimp that. I may not. I don't know. But I think it's a cool little mod, to have a variable wattage, battery replaceable um, mod that's teeny tiny, and hey, it'll be something neat.
Cool. Good to know. Hey, Rich.
Tower of Power. So let's take a look here. Okay, we're gonna go past my 19 million thingy, um, and let's talk batteries. You want to talk batteries?
Let's talk batteries.
They're very sexy to talk about batteries. Here is a battery deal from. Uh, did he nail that? Well, did I get the right one? This is the one I was talking about. I don't know if Bim Bam Boom, which one Bim Bam Boom's talking about. This one is from Mad Vapes.
Oh, okay. Now, what price? You've got the updated price. I'm taking it. Yeah, yeah.
This is the one that you published yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, and I got caught by that one. They had those on sale, and the coupon worked on top of it for a very brief time. They were a very cheap battery, but that sale didn't last. I apologize to those of you who missed. And
Mm.
but even at 664, that's reasonable for an 18650 IMR. Nothing to complain about there.
Yeah, Mad Vapes. If you again, you're not looking for China for your batteries right now. Fastech's having big problems with shipping out batteries, so I
Mm.
avoid them completely. Either go to Illumination Supply, which I don't know they're shipping to Canada, or Mad Vapes, because Mad Vapes now has 30 amp batteries, regular batteries, semi-high wattage amperage batteries, and they're all pretty reasonable. These new EHs, they haven't really caught fire in a lot of other places. They seem to carry them almost exclusively.
Now, is this an EH, Joe? I had trouble because I tried to find the amp limit specs on this, but I was going by what's on the label and it just marked E.
Yeah,
So,
that's their new logo for them.
oh, okay, there we go. Thank you for clearing that up. So that is an EH. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, and it's a great price. I'm not sure the amp limits on them. I'm going to conservatively say they're probably like 6 to 8. That's the average for a normal IMR. And considering the mAh rating's 2,000, I don't think it's a 30 amp. They do make a 2100 watt. I mean 2100 watt, 2100 mAh 30 amp Sony. But those are just brand spanking new. These have been around a while, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be going, 0.5 on these batteries.
Um, well, point 0.5 is, well, I hate speculating when we're not 100% sure. I like to have a more quantitative answer before I make recommendations, but definitely stay out of the basement on these ones. And I do apologize. The photo we're looking at right now indicates they're available for 531. That's that lower price I was talking about for that sale that did not last. That sale price is over. However, the coupon code still works. Visit the link that Big Bam has given. The coupon code's in there, and these are now available for $664 after
Yeah,
coupon.
yeah. Mad Vapes have been having these flash sales. They're up for like 6 hours, and they really bother me sometimes because I'm like, oh my god, great price, this is gonna be awesome,
Yeah.
and I can't put it on my blog because they're only up for 6 hours, and by the time some people get to them, they're like, oh, it's over. So I try. They're confusing, but it's good for when it's live.
Oh, sorry to hear about the migraine, Chevy. I hope you're feeling well soon. Get a good rest and a very, very Merry Christmas to you.
See you later, Chevy. Merry Christmas, man. Feel better. Okay. Let me, let's talk, since we're on Mad Vapes already. I just pimped this today. Tiger pimped this the other day. Tiger scooped me on this one. But I'm going to put this in the room. This is the new teeny tiny Smoke Tech RDA. This is a little teeny tiny rebuildable from Smoke Tech. It has the drip tip built into it. It almost kind of like they went backwards, but they actually went forwards on this one. The drip tip and everything is built into it. And Tiger and a lot of rebuilders pointed out they hate the fact that they still have to take their drip tips off. They're rebuildables when they're trying to drip and rebuild RDAs. With this, everything's built in. It reminds me of like a small little milk jug. Yeah, I don't know if you remember those little milk jugs from back in the day, but it's super simple, it's clean, and it's cheap. And if you were looking to get into rebuilding or wanted a dripper, I think this is it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. What do you think, babe?
Well, here's what I think. I'm I'm one of those totally OCD people. I can't drip through a drip tip. Okay, I can't do it. I don't want juice touching the sides. I don't want getting a drop back when I'm taking a draw. So I pull my drip tip every time I drip. Okay. So, no big deal until you're sitting there dripping on a really thirsty build and vaping it all day and that drip tip's out every few minutes, right? So I looked at this, and the first thing I thought is, oh, you can't pull the drip tip. Then I looked at that big wide mouth as I'm pulling this one to drip, and I'm like, hello, I get it. Okay, so it's not the prettiest thing in the world. You want to talk practical? This is it. And for under $6, this is a no-brainer. Um, you can easily drip through that nice wide mouth without, getting too messy. You're going to hit your build. It's going to be awesome, and you're going to save a few seconds many, 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 many times over in a day. So the other thing I really liked about this one, and it's not confirmed yet, but I can't figure out what else that would be there for. You will notice, and I'm going to bring up this picture finally. I'm too busy talking to do my job. Let's get that picture so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. On the positive pin there, and there we go. There's the little RDA, such a cute little number. Right there, you'll see a slot in there for a screwdriver. That to me indicates you've got an adjustable pin there. Now, I haven't been able to confirm this, but why else would that be there? So that's a win for me as well. So really, there's a lot of cleverness and value packed into under $6 here. Thumb screws, so you can forget about worrying about where your itty bitty little Phillips or tiny little Allen wrenches are. This is just a win.
Yeah, why doesn't every rebuilder, I mean, even the high-end stuff, why don't they just use thumb screws? Wouldn't it make sense?
Um, there's pluses and minuses, but the thumb screws are certainly accessible, easy. They're nice. I don't mind the Allen keys and screwdrivers. I'm one of those, like I said, I'm a little OCD. I've always got that stuff at my fingertips anyway, but I know those tiny little tools have a way of growing legs, and it can be a pain.
My mouse just died on me, great.
Now, Serge, or yeah, Serge, I guess, are you asking me where are you from in Canada? I am West Coast. I'm way, way out in BC. Magnets Tiger, says Bastard. And did you want me to talk about magnets, or did you want me to show you where to get them? Oh, for my tools. Oh, aren't you clever? I did not think about that. Now, you see, I can't do that at my desk. I have a 3-year-old that will think that is that they're just laid out for his convenience, but that is a clever solution, definitely. Fucking magnets is scary. How do they work? I don't know. It's
Magic.
magic. It's black magic. I'm certain of it.
Country Pammy, Joe said I do stacking 18350s in a VMAX. Yes, you can only stack 18350s in a real VMAX. My VMAX will only take stacked 18350s, and I love my VMAX. No, you don't need AWs. I use mostly anything. Most of the time I use nipple tops, but you can use any IMR battery that'll work. Well, Big Priv, it was designed for stacking. It's actually a better. I like stacking because rather than the board having to take low voltage and make it higher, it takes the higher voltage already. It takes 8 volts and brings it down to your voltage, which makes for a warmer and a hotter vape. It's definitely not as accurate, I have to admit that, but it really has a punch. It has a far greater punch than anything. If you get your hands on a VMAX and you set it to 4 volts, it's like 5 volts.
TVB NYC AW are the initials of the owner of the company, I think. You are correct. AW stands for Andrew Wong.
There's a Chinese place by my house named Wong, so I wonder if it's his.
Really, Joe? North Mankato. Hey, I'm here all week.
If you stack two 18650s in a Nemesis, if you had the tubes that long, it wouldn't blow up. You would just have an 8-volt vape. An 8.7 volt vape. I know people that do that. They actually stack 18350s in their mechanicals. They don't blow up, but they're very high voltage. You better have a seriously nice sized coil in there.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend against that, but,
Yeah, stacking, you just have to remember when you stack, there's a couple rules to it. One, they have to be married, which means the two batteries have to stay together. They also have to be rotated, because the top battery will always drain before the bottom battery will. So every so often you want to flip the two batteries so they drain at around the same time, so they last longer. But once you have them together, they stay together. They're exclusive, a couple.
yeah. As a matter of fact, I read a little blurb on a forum some time ago talking about that, and they recommend that if you are stacking batteries, you'll of course have more than one pair. You're not just taking that pair out, charging, putting it back. So
Right.
they recommend that you number your pairs, and then or letter, whatever works, and then within those pairs number them. So like you'd have pair A, pair B, pair C, and within that you'd have 1 and 2. So you've got A1, A2, A2, B2, B1, good heavens, B1, B2, and so on. Okay, so you always make sure, like last time B2 was on top, this time B1's on top, and you just make sure and for somebody like me, this is why I don't stack batteries, because I would have to write this down.
Right, and you always use a vape safe. If you're going to stack, use a vape. Well, you don't in a VAMO because it already has the circuit protection built in. But on a mechanical, always use some sort of a vape safe when you're going to stack, because if there's a short, at least you have some sort of protection. Scary with AW and the stamp. There's a lot of fakes out there. There's a ton of AW IMR fakes out there. There are videos on YouTube on how to spot them. I haven't watched them yet, but if you don't know, if you see an AW IMR on sale for $6.99, I will bet you dollar to donuts that it is a fake. So be careful.
Jay Lana Deer, I hope I said that right. If I didn't, please forgive me. Watching his AIGA burst into flames on stack 350s in a KTS showed him all he wanted to know about that particular maneuver, and I'm with you. It's not necessary to stack at this point anymore, unless you have, like Joe's saying, a mod that is designed for that and that alone.
Right. I mean, I vaped off the Congestus, which is a mechanical that is a dual 26650 mechanical. It's made big enough to hold two 26650s. It's intense. You can't do sub-ohm. You'll blow your coil up. I mean, you got to go high ohms. It's a completely different build. So just know what you're doing before you start dilly-dallying with things like that. And I just used the word dilly-dally.
Yeah, you did. And I've got it on tape, well, so to speak.
Okay, so let's talk Liberace, shall we, Tiger?
Let's not. I had something else lined up.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to talk about a really good deal on a really decent mechanical. I mean, these aren't bleeding edge right now. These have been out a while, but they've stood the test of time. People are still excited about them, still using them, and they're still a perfectly decent little mechanical. And that is like the K100 slash K101s. Now, this is actually a replica, and this kind of makes me laugh. Like for those who are complaining that China is cloning stuff. Well, now they're turning to their own. At least they're cloning themselves now. Sigali has done a replica of the K101. These are available for $14.99. How can you go wrong? That is so cheap. Let me. Oh, I was about to say, let me give you the link. Big Bam's there. All right. Thank you, Big Bam. That is the link. And that is coming from a USA vendor. That is coming from VaporTech. So you're not going to wait, 3 weeks for it to come. Uh, you just can't go wrong.
Yeah, a knockoff, originally a knockoff of Empire. Now Sigeli's knocked off KTS with this one. They look exactly the same. They're probably being pulled from the same manufacturer. They're slapping the Sigeli symbol on them. If you didn't know this, a lot of the manufacturers out there, like Sigeli, a lot of them don't actually manufacture their own stuff. They go to a manufacturer, and like a perfect example would be Anokin. Anokin makes nothing. Anokin goes to a company and has their stuff made, and then they slap their name on. So this is probably the same exact mob. They just had Sigeli's name slapped on. But for
No,
$14, I mean, come on.
Bud Johnson is asking, are they really gold or is that just the photo? It's just the color in the photo. It's making the chrome look a little bit on the yellower, on the golder side. That is a silver chrome finish on the pieces that you're referring to there. Available in anodized purple, blue, and sort of a taupe color.
They look really nice.
Mhm.
And these things are heavy.
And yes, Rich, I'm using the Plantronics right now. I love it. Excellent. And thank you so much for your help in sourcing it.
Well, that's right. That's right. He
Yeah.
sourced them.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Let me head over to my blog really fast. There's a little Addy stand I want to talk about.
I promise we'll get to the bling bling Big Bam. I promise.
Where's the Addy stand? There we go. This is a 24 mod Jenny tank stand for $8. When I saw this, I was pretty impressed. Somebody said these come assembled. I don't agree. I don't think they come assembled. I bought some mod stands from Fastech. They came completely put together yourself, which makes more sense because it would be a pain in the butt to ship if it was assembled. These are great. $8, you're going to get 24 slots for Jennies, for mods, for cardo tanks, for whatever you need. It's super simple, and it's generic. I mean, you could probably incorporate this into a mod stand you're building. Great for brick and mortars if you guys want to display stuff. If you have mods you want to show and have people try out. And if you're like me, that you have tanks and mods everywhere, and for $8, I mean,
Really, Joe? Really?
this is great. It just does the job. You remember when mod stands were expensive?
Mm.
I mean, you could buy like 4 of these,
Yeah,
and put.
certainly. Having said that, Joe, there are some stands out available now that are practically works of art in their own right. This is very, very pragmatic, very just functional. But it's
Right.
neat, it's tidy, and your stuff's not rolling around your desk. So,
Right, and this would be good just to leave on my desk, like right here. And these would just have, and you would just have the, your tanks or your mods do whatever you got to do with them. But I think they're great.
And I gotta say this because, I've already said a couple times in this show that I'm a little on the OCD side. I look at this and, I've seen some of the fancier ones that I'm talking about, the real works of art, and all I can see is, shit, I gotta dust that. I'm looking at this going, hallelujah. You run that puppy under screaming hot water, you leave it on the dish rack for a little while, God dries it for you, and you put it back on your desk. You're done.
Is it dishwasher safe, you think?
I don't know about dishwasher safe. I wouldn't be surprised with the plexiglass, but like I say, I just run that puppy under screaming hot water and forget about it.
Yeah, they don't stain. I have two wooden. Well, I'm wrong. I have one wooden and one military grade plastic mod stand, and the wooden ones, they're great, but they stain. I don't care how much varnish they put on there, nicotine will eat through it eventually. And some of them that are painted. I don't know if it was you, Tiger, who talked about the paint. What happens when you're mod? No, it was Vaping
Mhm.
Mandycat. She has a black painted wooden mod, and she goes, that paint picks up so much dust, and when you go to clean it, you get like because it's kind of rough sometimes, that it will take like if you rub it down with a washcloth, it like kind of takes part of the washcloth with it. So she said she was looking into acrylic ones for her website. Well, I think they're pretty neat. Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm just looking for your
Okay.
Liberace.
I know where it is. Don't you worry about it. Um, all right, let's talk bling because this is actually kind of cute, and I wasn't too sure about it. Okay, let's see. Can I make it fit the window? Are we gonna? No, we're gonna recapture this because it's just not gonna happen. I wasn't too sure about this at first because, to be honest, I mean, we've all had those things. I've got a wallet I used to love using, and it had all these jewels set in it. And there's just a little divot in the metal, and they set the stone in there and glue it in. And then over time, every time you take your wallet out of your purse, there's another stone missing, and after a while, it looks really like hell. So I looked at this and I kind of thought, well, yeah, it's kind of cute now. But then I got a little more up close and personal with it, and I discovered that they have actually cloth set every one of those stones. I don't know if you can see it on the picture there, but you right there, there's the little claws. There's 4 claws holding every stone. Um, that to me speaks a lot more to longevity and that they're not going to be falling out and it's going to be looking ragged. So I got a little more excited about this. So it is a Magneto style, and thank you again, Big Bam, for the link. It is a Magneto style with a magnetic switch. It's got the distinctive spider on the button, and 4 rows of the jewels in them. Now, in that post that Big Bam has referred you to, there is also a link. They came out with another one earlier. If this is a little too much bling for you, they have one that has a simple vertical row of the crystals in the body. Still a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of glitz, but not quite as much as this one features. So there's options on
Yeah, I
both
was
ends.
saying anytime a niche or little group of something comes into its own, it starts getting blinged out. Anytime people bling it out, we've arrived. We've pretty much lost all innovation. It's just okay. Put the diamonds on it. That'll be the next run.
Well, I like this better than the like they've been blinging egos for a ton of time now, but those don't stay. Let's face it, they're fun for a while and then, but this one is meant to stay. I only wish they came out with it a little sooner because this screams New Year's Eve mod to me. But then I would actually need somewhere to go too. So
Yeah. I don't know if I would use it, but I can definitely see you using this, Tiger.
yeah, I admit it. If I had one, I would totally rock that.
And maybe if someone like Ice T was vaping, he may use this with his pimp outfit.
For just a moment, I just totally zoned out there, Joe. You said iced tea, and I'm like, A, how did he know what I was drinking? No, I am not putting my mod in my drink, but okay.
Are we going to be talking about voting today, or
I think
I
we
think we're all
should.
voted out? Oh,
Oh,
you do?
okay. Well, only because like the trend. Forgive me for saying so, but the trend has now gone to shit, literally. Um, I mean, it was a bad idea to start with, and we've just taken it new places. I gotta see if I can find the.
It was picked. It was deleted.
It was deleted. Okay, never mind then. I
We
can't find
deleted
it.
it because what happened was somebody literally took their mech mod and RDA and put it on top of a big pile of cow shit.
And for those of you not understanding what we're talking about, there's been a trend that's been growing now, and it's really taken off. It's kind of got a life of its own for involving your mod with your food. And I mean, like, not just having it standing next to your plate as you're having dinner. I'm talking about being in your plate, like in the soup, in the coffee, in the pizza, in the hot dog bun with condiments on it. And, you know, like, I'm begging you all, please stop. Please, you're giving me nightmares.
Well, and they affectionately called it vooding. Now, what I want to know, Tiger, is if you put your ego down your shirt, is that called voobing?
Um, I'm going to reserve comment. I'm staying away from that one.
Now, I was on Monday. I was talking about this, and you have to understand something. When you come out against something like this, it's like a flaming bag of dog shit. You cannot just step on it. It will get everywhere. And that's what happens with stuff like this. You have to let it fizzle out on its own. You can't just be like, stop the madness, please stop, because people will just continue to post more and more and more pictures. But they're getting really, really hardcore about it now. People are taking videos of stirring their coffee and vaping right after, which is dangerous. I do not advise anybody to stir your coffee with your mod and then fire it, because that you're just looking for a short.
I like Bud Johnson's comment. He wants to know what is a good vegan mod. Ah, I'll have to think about
Well,
that one.
at least the poop mod's organic.
Oh dear.
But so yeah, I tried to put it in the Urban Dictionary and it got rejected for some reason. So I'll have Tiger put it in there.
Yeah, you keep trying. Freaky J wants to know, Joe, you posted a link the other day to a small stealth mod. It was under $7. What was that?
It was a gripper. I'll put it up right now. I don't know if they are still in stock. I'm gonna go take a look.
Alrighty.
Because yeah, they're still in stock and they're still going to be $7 and change. They won't be $7 and change. They're going to be $8.59.
Okay.
Yep, there it is. They've come out. These are old. These came out like a year ago, and these were meant for a teeny tiny pocket vape for people who like I live in Jersey where you cannot vape in public. These are great for the movies. They sit in your hand. The cardo goes all the way down to the bottom, and it just exposes the little drip tip. It takes an 18350 battery. You fire the button on a low res, and you're good. They have an extender now that you can put down in there that lifts the Addy all the way to the top, so you don't have to worry. But it's kind of pointless. It's basically meant for an XL cardo. You shove it down in there. You put the drip tip on, and again, super stealthy, super small. And it's $8. I mean, these things were $30 back in the day. Now, $8, totally worth it. I think they're neat. I bought one just for the hell of it. Just for the halibut.
Now, one of the cautions, though, Joe, is don't over tighten that cardo. And I mean, this is one of the cardinal rules of vaping. Don't over tighten anything, for that matter.
Right.
But definitely don't over tighten that cardo in there, or you're going to be fishing it out with pliers and cussing a lot, because it's not going to turn back out easily for you.
One of my friends told me, who has one of these, you take the drip tip, you put it in the cardo, you put it down in it, and spin. As soon as that drip tip starts feeling like it's spinning inside the car, stop. And then you know it's down perfect. But you know, you can, like, if you're really worried, I would take a 510 to 510 connector, put it down into the with your next cardomizer, so it'll lift it up just a hair. So even if it does get stuck, you'll always have the ability to turn it with your hands, the cardomizer, and it will just be poking out just a little bit further.
There you go.
But for $8, I mean, come on. I mean, at the price of an Enjoy you're going to throw away, you have a mod, and it does. This is technically it is mod.
Now, Max Lane has a good question. What cardo is your favorite right now, Joe? And I'm going to turn that one over to you because you vape a lot more cardo than I do.
They're called Thunderheads. They're made by Smoke Tech. They're the lowest resistant cardo you can get, 1.7 ohms. I think now they should start making lower ohm cardos like 1.2, 1.3. They haven't done them, but 1.7, they're called or they'll be called resurrectors. They were meant to resurrect your mod because they vape so well, and they're super crispy, crunchy when you vape them. You'll always know when you're vaping a resurrector or a thunderhead.
Oh, now that's interesting. That is the first time I've heard you put those two names together. I thought they were actually different products. Um, so that's really cool because I've heard great things about the Resurrectors months ago already, and it was more recently you were talking to me about the Thunderheads. So it's good to know those are the
Yeah,
same animal.
VaporBeast. Yeah, VaporBeast confirmed it with me because I'm like, how come you don't sell? Oh, you're the only person I know that sells the quote unquote thunderhead.
Hmm.
And he then said, no, they're the resurrectors. I'm like, oh, okay, now I know. But 2.0 Bogues are fine, but Smoke Tech's always more expensive than Bogue. So you're always going to pay about 50% more for Smoke Tech. If you're looking for a budget, low res Bogues are fine too.
Hmm.
And I still vape Cardos, and I don't care what people say.
You go for it. Crew Jones been doing some torching with good results. Cool. Congrats to you. We'll be looking for pictures on Facebook. Well, there was another new replica pop this week I'll show you. Let's see, let's see, let's
Begin with an
see.
A.
It does begin with an A. Oh, you're hinting. I was gonna make Big Bam work for this one, but he's gonna be on that like white on rice, and it is the Atom replica, and here it is
In all its glory.
in all its glory and at a really decent price. Now this one has brass contacts, so that's kind of nice. Floating center pin, also nice. Bottom firing button does lock. It's a reverse threaded locking ring on that. And you've got the air channels in the top as well. So, and yeah, there's the link. Thank you.
Now, these are one of those mods. I just want to see for myself, just to reassure myself what I'm about to say is right. Um,
Well, while you're checking, ASP has asked, what does floating pin mean? Usually, ASP, when they say floating as opposed to adjustable, your center pin is on a spring. Kind of like I don't know if you're familiar with the switch in the Sentinel clones, but that is on a spring. So you tighten your atomizer down in, and that pin is going to move to suit where your atomizer sits. So it's not sitting it up above with that gap and needing to be adjusted. It's just going to move with. And then you basically adjust your telescope accordingly because that's going to push the pin down into the mod a little bit, take up some battery space, but you just make up for that with the telescoping, make it fit.
Now, I'm looking at the real Atom, and I'm looking at this. The only difference I see between this and the regular Atom is that Atom, the real Atom, is polished, and the engravings are darker, which can all be done on your own.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this is nothing more than the real Atom, and they skipped a few steps and called it a clone. That's it. These are one of those situations where they come out of the same factory. The real atoms are pumped out for hundreds of dollars, and they're given that extra two-step process with the polish and the engraving work, and then the other ones are just kind of done raw, thrown out the bottom, and charged $17. So you're paying $100 more for some polish and some darker engravings.
Now, Tower of Vape, you have a great point, and I agree with you. He's saying he'd rather have a brushed version of any mod, so it doesn't slip out of the hands and get scratched. I'm the same way. Also, they don't show the fingerprints like a mirror, you know? But for those of you who like the high shine, the high polish, you can take something like this and do it. Probably a little harder with the telescopic, no question about it. But I'm going to share a little tip with you. My other co-host and guru, Corey Rutan, that's Dark Side Vapor. We do Beauty and the Beast together on Friday nights here on VapeStrong. He's got a clever little way of polishing mods, and you want to talk fast. grab yourself an old cardo. Next time you got a tired cardo, don't toss it. It's a tool. Set it aside. Next time one of your mods needs polishing, you just put that into the 510 connector. Then you take the other end and you set that in the chuck of your drill. Now you take your rag, you got a little bit of polishing compound in there, you lay that mod in there, and there you go, polished, done. How fast
Really, I
is
would
that?
have never thought of that.
Oh yeah, it's so clever.
That is really good. I think that's cool. I'm going to have to do that now. I just bought a new
Coach will be
drill.
playing with power tools.
Like, what are you doing? I'm polishing my mod. And there's Tiger. Oh, really? Baby. Corey told me to do this. Corey told you how to polish your mod? Yeah, babe. What's the problem?
Oh dear, there's entirely too much material there.
Looking
Gary,
for a
it
picture.
could be rough on your 510 if you're putting too much of a grip. If you're letting it spin freely, it's not going to be too bad. But don't, with that polishing rag, you don't want a death grip on that mod because then you are forcing it to tighten up in there. Just let it spin. I mean, you don't need a whole bunch of pressure. You just need that movement. So, you know.
Big Priv. You're looking for a small variable wattage. I have your answer. Let me just give you a link as soon as I find it. I have the answer to all your problems with that.
Oh my. Diana, I did. I'm not knowledgeable enough to share that. If you'd like to share that in the room, you go right ahead. I would need to look into it a little bit before I say anything, so I'm gonna leave that for tonight. But if you want to share that link, you go right ahead.
Big Priv, you wanted a small, tiny, little portable wattage device. Look no further than 101 Vapes by iTaste VVV3. This is a 900 mAh variable voltage, variable wattage, Ego connector, because that's what you wanted. This is everything you want for $29.99. In my opinion, superior to the Emax because it's basically a teeny tiny MVP2. That's what it is. It's a miniature MVP2. It's meant for people who want to, teeny tiny top pocket little thing. And call it good. So I think that's the answer to your problems.
Oh, let's see if I can. I'm just grabbing your link there. I'm gonna bring that up for everybody to have a look at. Oh,
And he has them cheap. He has them super cheap.
Now, I don't have this exact one, but at the reasonably new Vapor, I did get one of the versions that had the magnetic. So it wasn't 510, it used the proprietary, but you could also use the 510 in it. And I gotta say, it's a nice little mod. So clever with the pen cap that fits over, so discreet, very pocket or purse friendly. A real good little traveler, real good carry with.
Koo Jones wants to know if the Unitank is worth the $650. Is that the mini or the regular size? I love the Unitank. The Unitank is, in my opinion, my favorite of the Pro Tank series. It is plastic though. It doesn't have a glass tank. It's a little strange on how they work this. There's a dual chamber system. I don't know. Do I have one floating around here? I can show you. Yes, right here. I have a Unitank on my Pro Very Mini here. You're probably not going to be able to see this, but there's a of course, as my laptop light goes off, there's a two tank system in here. Basically, there's juice on the top and juice on the bottom. If you see where that little piece of silicone is in there on the bottom, that's where the second stage of the juice goes. And there's a spring in there. And as you put the juice in the top and you push the drip tip down, it pushes the juice down into the coil. It's really neat how it works. And I actually have the mini version of it too, sitting on my my Opus D. I think they vape the best. I don't know why they vape the best. They both use the same heads. They both basically use the same 510 connector, but for some reason I think it gets juice better. Thunderhead, when you're filling it, Some people are having flood problems. What I like to do is when you're filling it, when you get your juice in it, push the top, turn it upside down, then screw it. And you'll prevent from pushing that air down into the bottom. That's a cheap price for $6.50. E-cigs plus, huh?
And Asp, I was going to say the same thing. The question was about Halo juice and what's your go-to juice. Tons of what I vape here is Dark Side Creations. I'll give you the link. Now, it is a new site. Just be patient. Still sort of under construction. Things are being added all the time. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's some really great juice coming out of Saskatchewan. So there you go. And I've tried one Halo. Now, Joe, help me out. What was it? It was a chocolate mint.
Oh, Shamrock.
Thank you. And I liked it. I liked it, but I haven't tried enough to really, have an opinion on the line.
Halo is here out of New Jersey, actually. They get their flavors are made odd. They make their flavors by a chemist specifically for them. Did we just crash?
Let's see. No, I've still got the feed here and the chat's still working.
Okay, I suddenly just saw us completely crash. Oh, sorry about that. They're made here in New Jersey. No, it says video's out, people are saying.
Okay, well, the video feed is still coming in for me. I think this is a Vaughn problem, and for those of you that the video is frozen, just reload the room because I'm actually getting the feed back from Vaughn as well. So I am monitoring that, and it's, yeah.
Okay, now I just got it back too. Vaughn was telling me they may be working on some server issues today, so if the video gets a little wonky, it's just that. Okay, so so the flavors for Halo were made kind of funny. They don't use like TPA flavor, this or T. They use a chemical name for their flavors. They're all done in weird chemical formats. And if you like chocolate, they have the most unique chocolate I've ever vaped. It's their Belgian chocolate, or Belgian cocoa, and it's one of the best cocos I have ever vaped. It is really, really, really good. They're kind of expensive, but, for a, I don't know what you want to call it. When you're a new vapor, you hear of certain companies, and Halo is one of them. It's those kind of companies like Johnson Creek and all them that I don't really like to tell vapors about because there's so much better out there. But Halo is actually pretty good. I like some of their juice. It's just a little too expensive, but you won't be disappointed. They do make some good juice.
And Crew Jones wants to know, have we ever tried the VaporRoom.net juice? No, I can't say as I have.
Nope, I've never tried it either.
All right. Well, I get a funny one. Let's break the not that there is any tension, but like we got to throw some humor in here too. I got a deal that'll make you guys giggle, and it worked for me. For those of you who remember the stunning Calabash mod, they didn't stop there. They could have, but they didn't. You can now get a Calabash VCC. Works like a pro tank, looks like a see-through snowman, and
oh no, I'll tell you what that looks like. It ain't no snowman.
Joe. Yeah, the Calabash. There it is. It's a translucent wonder. Yeah, well, Max, seriously, I want to paint the drip tip black and put a little coal dot smile, a little carrot nose on it.
There is an advantage to this thing, believe it or not.
What's that?
It's a 6 mil tank.
It is. It's a big tank. I will give you that. No question. It'll hold
I
a
would
lot of
totally,
juice.
I totally rock that. I would use it because I love all BCC things, and I think they just use little EVOD or ProTank heads, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I mean, I would rock it. I wouldn't go out in public with it. Look like I was vaping like a butt plug or something. But
Oh dear.
these are not glass. These are like I forget the name of it. It's the same plastic that the
RSST tank.
RSST. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
PMMA and it is a plastic, but it is more resistant to your tank crackers. I won't say it's 100%, but anything that worked in the RSST, and we found a lot of things worked in that didn't work in your polycarbs that cracked or etched them, will work in this.
yeah. Very interesting. Very funny. Very yeah. It looks like a lot of yeah.
And Crew Jones is asking, where can you get it? Big Bam has dropped the link in the room above there, Crew Jones. So,
Yeah, just look. Yeah, every time I look at this thing, I just think it's too funny. It's just incredible.
well, yeah,
Put
and
in your acid
Northman
vaping. Okay, there, thanks.
Northman Cato is referring back to the orange gourd. For those of you who didn't see the original, the mod, we're talking about the calabash. The links for it are in that post as well, so you can check it out. It was a little tiny mod that was available as kind of what looked like a crazy orange gourd or like stacked pumpkins or something.
Hmm.
And it's also available in white. So, there again, just begging to be made into a snowman, in my opinion.
Yep, a snowman. We'll go with that.
Yeah, it's
We're
snowman, and
gonna
I'm
put-
sticking to it, Joe.
that vapor who was just talking about the Unitank. I am unsure if they ship to Canada, but that is an amazing price. $6.50 for a Unitank. A full. This is the full Unitank, full size, like a Pro Tank. I'm gonna just let me grab that link real fast. I don't know if they ship to Canada. I know they're in America,
All
but I'm gonna
right.
put that. I'm gonna put that in the room just for people to take a look at. Basically, it's $6.50. These are normally like $15. He has them at 72% off. They come with the 2 extra heads, the whole box, out of New Jersey. So if you guys can get it shipped to you, I would buy a lot of these because they're great and they're worth $6.50. It's lower than vendor cost. They're out of stock.
Oh, bummer.
I just put one in my cart.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just put one in my cart, so I don't think they're out of stock. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I checked it out. You can you can get them still. It looks like anyway. So
Now,
do we have any?
someone was asking about the Vapor Shark, Joe. Maybe you can field that. If he's rolling it at 20 watts, what kind of life is it likely to have? I mean, that's a small battery.
I never roll these at 20. I'm at about 12.1. I average between 12 and 15. I rarely go to 20. I charge this in the morning, and by the end of the day, after vaping, maybe 5 or 6 other mods, it's got a quarter battery left. So it gets me through the day. If I vape this all day, 100%, I get about 5 hours, 4 hours out of it. But I'm not vaping rebuildables on this. I'm vaping standard. Like on here, I got a dual coil iClear 30B on this, and it works great. I love my Vapor Shark. If I had to do it over again, I would have probably bought two.
Big Bam has posted the link for this twice, and I can't say no to Big Bam. So let's talk about the SmokeTech Ego Slims. This is another great price. If you like the Vivi style vape, your top coil, replaceable heads, so there's longevity built into this for 265. This is Mad Vapes, so these are from within the US. Once again, you're not ordering overseas. It's coming to you fast,
This
and
particular this particular one is out of stock, but if you go to that link and then search for SmokeTech Slim, you'll see green, violet, and purple. They're still available for that price.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for that, Joe. I was unaware that it had been marked out of stock. All right. Well,
We
you've
sold
got
them
the
out, Dave.
workaround, and there are still some colors available, and you just can't beat the price. They're the kind of thing that's good to have around, even if somebody wants to try vaping, or you're going somewhere where there's the chance that what you're using is going to get beat or lost, or you're not going to lose any sleep if you lose one of these.
Right, and for those of you, newer vapors, you may not have vaped a Vivinova, and it's kind of funny because Vivinovas were hugely popular a year ago. I mean, they were the shit. They were the pro tanks of their time. They were in my opinion, the reason that made vaping easy.
Hmm.
It was just unscrew, fill, screw, oh, and vape.
Now,
And
Diana is. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you not?
I'm done. Go on.
Okay. Diana wants to know if it'll work on the Sigali. She's got a new mechanical. Diana, your mechanical operates at, well, we call it a 3.7 volt device. When your battery is fresh off your charger, it's going to be 4.2 volts. So unlike on a regulated mod where you can turn it up to say 5, if that 5 volts is that's giving you the vape you enjoy on a device like this, you can't do that. So what I would suggest is you're going to be looking for Vivi heads that are lower res, okay? You're going to be looking for the 1.8s, or if they even have 1.5s, you might want that. It totally depends on how you like your vape. But if you've got like 2.8 heads or something crazy in here, it's just not going to perform on that mechanical unless you throw a kick in there. Now, I'm saying that, I'm just throwing that in off the top of my head because the kick will give you the power of a regulated mod. You can then change the wattage, right? But I'm just not sure if a kick fits in that mod. Some they do, some they don't. And
Which mod is it?
it's the Sigeli 23.
Let me look it up. I'll tell you in a second if it'll fit.
Okay, well, if you're already vaping in the 3.7 to 4.3 range on devices like this and you're getting what you want out of it, then yes, absolutely go for it. You will need, oh gosh. Now, you know what? I have forgotten, Diana. Does that one have ego threading or is it just 510? Because if it's just 510, you're going to need yourself an adapter that changes that 510 into a 510/ego.
I'm looking at it. It looks like it should, but it doesn't have ego threading from what I see. It looks like it has the well that would
The
fit
chip
an
well.
ego,
Hmm.
but it doesn't have the round portions, so she's going to need a 510 ego.
Okay, yeah, you're going to need that adapter then. But then, yeah, absolutely, you're off to the races, and then you can use any of your ego-threaded devices on there.
You know what? Isn't it the 23? Didn't I send you a few of those?
That's the one she's rocking. You picked up a couple for me when they were on a really, really good sale.
Yep, got them for $1. Just kidding. Uh, but oh, no problem on the Vapor Shark info. The Ego, so the Smoke Tech Ego Slims, I think they're really great for the price. I mean, come on, $2.65. I remember when these things were $10 a piece. And they got and if you go to them after follow our link, and you just look up Vivinova or there's tons. They got bottom coils. They got the big huge tanks, the little tanks, all different styles, and they all vape well. Like I said, this is what made vaping easy was the Vivinova tank. And here is another the big man just put in the room. These are the SmokeTech BCC clearmizers. Again, ego threaded. They have the drip tip and body in one piece. These use the BCC heads on the bottom, and they're super simple. They remind me a lot. This is the big fat daddy version of them. Okay, these are the big fat versions. These work great. I had this on this little twist for a long time, and they just rock. I mean, at Fast Tech, this costs about the same as those there, $3.79, and I have no complaints. You would think these are so simple. Somebody would have come up with this a few years ago. It's so, it's just some molded plastic, a tube, and a head, and a bottom
Hmm.
metal piece, and they just work really well. You fill them upside down like any other BCC, and they just work good. And for $3.79, better than any CE4 you're going to buy, in my opinion. They don't get dry because the liquid just gravity feeds to the bottom.
This next song goes out to someone real special.
Yeah, Merrick.
You developed
To be
this.
honest,
You
there's been a
developed a
lot to talk
worldwide
about with
reputation
Mad
for
Vapes
vapes,
this
and
week. It's just
Geico.com was
the way it
eternally
rolls.
fixed. Now everyone can pay bills,
Now,
manage
Collie
policies,
Man,
maybe
you
save
had
big
a
money on car insurance,
question
all
about
from
the
the comfort of their desk
M16.
chairs,
That's
recliners, and water
this puppy right
beds.
here.
Pyramid
Okay.
machines with one
Well,
simple
this is
binary code.
the
For
clone, and I'm going to use that term really loosely
e-cig.
because I'm not
For a
so
free
sure
rate
they're not
quote,
just
visit
coming right off the same line.
geico.com.
But I'm not there, so I can't say for sure. But this is aluminum, okay? So your M16, it's going to have an aluminum head. They're great. They carry current nicely. They're easy to use. Locking ring, good feature. The locking ring on the M16 is reverse threaded. Don't do what I did and cut yourself up trying to turn it the wrong way. It is reverse threaded. When you know that, it really does exactly what it's supposed to do easily. The heads on these are aluminum. Some people have a little bit of trouble with that. There is no reason to have trouble with it. The aluminum is a softer metal, okay? So your 510 connection is cut into the aluminum. Don't over tighten, and it's really that simple. And just because we haven't done it in a while, I'm gonna show you how to start your thread. Your only problems with an aluminum head are going to be cross threading and over tightening. If you don't do either, you're never going to have a problem. I've had both my Sentinel and M16 for some time. My threads are still fine. Other people complain that they're shredding in a week. When you set an atomizer on a connection, and especially these aluminum ones, don't just start turning. Set it in there, turn it backwards. At some point here, you're going to feel and even hear a little click. Click, there it was. Now you start turning forward because at that point, you've got your threads set. You're at the right spot. There's no danger of cross threading. Then don't over tighten. As soon as it's on there good enough, you're done. Stop. Like I say, I've been using both the M16 and Sentinels. They're nice little telescopics, no problems. I wouldn't hesitate to recommend one.
Tiger's very patient and gentle. One of the few reasons why I have her in my corner. If you ever have anything stuck, Tiger. Well, actually, no. There's one thing you couldn't get loose. That was that one iClear 30.
That iClear 30 is still absolutely welded together. I can't even figure out how that happened. I was removing the whole top of the iClear 30 to fill it. And one day, and I don't over tighten. I mean, you hear me. I'm the one that's always talking about don't do that. So I would always just close it snugly, and that was good enough, right? I went to get that top off. It is on forever. There is no separating that ever. I mean, I have run it under hot water. I have used those little rubber mats that you use to grab jar lids to hang on to it, and I've hurt my hands and shredded them. It's they're together forever.
Collie, I think that's a pretty good deal. For $24.99 at C2C, it's a good deal. Fast Tech does have them for about $17. You're going to pay $7 less, but he does ship to Canada, so you'll probably get it quicker. So it's your call after shipping. I don't know what Rhino charges for shipping in Canada, but it's
No,
going to be
I'm not sure off the
20,
top of my head.
be about $31, maybe 32. So twice the price, but probably twice as fast. So your call on that. But they're great. I like the M16. I also like the Private V2.
And Big Priv, no, I haven't heard about the Anyvape Nautilus BDC. That's a new one to me. There is so much coming out that even, with paying attention to stuff every day, stuff gets by me. Big Bam Boob, Tiger. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, you want to talk about that? All right. Fine. Let's do it.
What are we talking about?
We are talking about a new replica that came out, and this one has, in my estimation, a little bit of an identity crisis. Let me jump back because I was elsewhere on the blog, but I will jump back for you. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, this one I'm not sure what to call it. It doesn't even seem that they're sure what to call it. It is inspired by, it seems, two different ones because it's really got... Okay, that's not what I meant to do. Let's actually just grab that picture. There we go. This one seems to be inspired by two different mods, the Bagua and the Chiyu, because I see details from both in there. And then they've added a few things too. For those of you like Diana who want to be able to use some of these, simple devices on top of your Mac, you've got your Ego threading right in there, okay? As well as your 510 connection. It's got the top, the rings that are reminiscent of the Chiyu. It's got the bottom button and detailing on the body that are reminiscent of the Bagua. But this is an 18650, okay? The Baguas that were in this format were typically 18350. So there's brass contacts in this, so that's going to help with power. And they're saying this one comes with a little soft drawstring bag to protect it from scratches. So just a little kitschy thing, but that's kind of nice. So
Now, is the outside frosted, or is it just the light that's making it look white?
I think it's just the light on this particular, because you can see it's very much a shiny chromed finish, and they do say that it is a chromed finish.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it came in two different colors.
Yeah.
Kind of nice, like a weird white one. You don't see too many white mods these days.
No, that's true.
Well, actually, it would probably be horrible because it would scratch off.
What are you sorry for? I'm going back. Oh no! Don't worry about it. We're just flying by the seat of the pants tonight. So
I'm flying by Tiger's pants right now, but
oh dear. So no, all good.
it is already 2:30. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that time absolutely flew. Is there anything else that we
Sure.
haven't got to that you want to talk about, Joe? I think there was at least one more I had that warranted mention.
Let me take a look.
All right.
I'm drawing a blank on a warranted mention, baby.
I'm sorry?
I'm drawing a blank on the warranted mention. On which that you thought I should really, really mention. Oh, wait. Would it be the Nemesis?
No, I wasn't hinting you, Joe. I was just asking you.
Oh, I thought you were segueing into a new thing. There is actually something I want to talk about. XL Vapors is running a deal on a China GG. Now, we all remember the China GG. This was the first pretty successful China clone to come out, and everybody jump on it. Well, they have them on clearance. These are mixed color, flat top. The original China GG had a kind of like a slope to it, and I didn't like it. They came out with the flat top versions. They were insanely popular. They were about $30, $35. They sold millions of them. And, well, not him personally, but they sold millions of these things. And they have them for $19.99. In the States, free shipping, and then whatever shipping is to Canada, I'm not sure. Right now, the price is about 50 cents more than Fastech, so that's pretty damn cheap. And it works well. It's a good mod, and it's attractive. At least I think.
Well, I've actually got one. They first came out with a different cap on top. It had a little bit of a slope to it and some knurling. The new version with the flat top and the smooth, it's in my estimation a little nicer looking.
Oh yeah, and everything's going to fit flush and nice. And for $19, free shipping in the States. I don't know. Again, I don't really remember what he charges to Canada, but I know he ships there. It's a rocking little PV. It's telescopic. You can put any battery you want in it, and It just looks nice. I like these styles
Hmm.
of PVs, the
Yep.
original mechanical style.
Well, like I say, mine have the old style cap, but I've actually got a couple of them. One that's just in the chrome, one that's in the two-tone, and those were some of my very first mechanicals. Love 'em. Yeah, no complaints. I've still got both of them, and they still hit the rotation. So,
Okay, excellent. And so on December 25th, we talked about this just in the beginning about Boxing Day, but Fastech is running a 10 to 5% off coupon on the 25th at 8 p.m. Central. So Christmas Day at 8 p.m. they're going to start a sale. They're going to have a whole bunch of different things on sale. They're going to have doorbusters, $20 VTRs, $7 Nightcore chargers. There's a few things in there that you might have a shot at because some of the VTRs only have like maybe 10 or 20 of them. But there was a few things that they had like 300 or 400 on, like certain flashlights for like $1 or 10 cents. So I'm going to be looking out for that. And the coupon code will be Xmas, and it will be, I think, 5 to 10% off your total order. So I'll be buying stuff there on Christmas.
Z28, I see your question. That's very, very kind of you. I've been a little reticent to try the XC. I hear the great results people are getting, but I'll admit I'm nervous about it. There's no question. I'll be straight up about it. Especially because I just have no complaints with my silica builds. But I'm open to being swayed. But there's one more thing I'll share with you guys tonight, and that is this right here. We talked a bit about these before, but there's been new developments, so I'm going to share that. These are available in the States now for a
Ooh,
lower price. The 41.98, okay, and Exhale does ship to Canada. So let me see.
Bing Bam's got it
Here.
for you.
Oh, I thought I got ahead of him that time. Way to go. Um, I just ordered mine, and mine is not coming from Excel. So I'm actually going to tell you kind of in brackets about another place, Canada. If you want one, check out. And we're not pushing this too hard because, in all fairness, this vendor just brought in a few of them to check out to try. So I'm going to drop the link in the room. That's River City Vapes out of Alberta. He just brought in a few of them, and if you're fast and you're lucky, you may still be able to grab one of those. If you're not fast and lucky, relax. There's more coming. He
I
only
want to be
brought them
fast.
in he only brought them in black, red, and blue. The next run that comes is going to be in all the colors, and we'll let you know when they are around. And yeah, exactly, Kato. That's what I'm thinking. I've got red one on the way, and I'm thinking it's probably going to need a green twin because that's just the St. Patty's Day mod.
Freak J says he has the green one and it vapes like a beast.
Oh yeah? Awesome. Okay, well, I am really, really looking forward to that. I'm kind of hoping it'll arrive Christmas Eve, but we'll see. We'll see. Canada Post has been outdoing themselves this month, so I may luck out. If not, hey, there's something to look forward to after Christmas.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, check out that pipe. They're the best, in my opinion, the best mass-produced looking pipes to date. If they vape half as good as they look, I'm going to probably want to own all of them and pretend I'm Gandalf and watch Lord of the Rings.
Now, there is one thing to note about the Exhale Vapors and the River City Vapes deals on this. There is a reason for that lower price. That's considerably lower than we've seen, and that's because they're not including the full kit. You're not getting that zippered case and the atomizer, the pieces that really you don't probably need. If you've got a decent vape kit built already, you probably have an atomizer you'd prefer to use in there than the one that comes with. And don't we all have enough zippered cases in the drawer by now?
Right,
So
right.
you're getting the pieces that are important, that drip tip that matches, and of course the pipe mod itself.
Hey, before we leave, Freaky J, how's the button on that? I'd like to know. Is it push in far? Is it just a little light touch? Got your tongue. Well, before Freaky J comments, I just want to thank all our viewers. 135 in the room at 200 at 2:36 a.m. on on a Saturday, or now Sunday for me. You guys, some of you guys are some of the most devoted fans in the vaping community to be out here this late for our show, and we appreciate it. And Freaky J, the question was, how is the button? Is it a soft? Is it pushing far? Is it just a light touch? How's the button on that? Light,
Thank you,
fun touch.
Cybersuit.
Very cool. Thank you. And thank you guys so much for coming and watching us. We're a little over this time, but we'll be back, of course, next week. Next week will be the 28th, so Merry Christmas to all of you, and Happy Holidays, and we will see you again on the 28th. Hopefully, Tiger will have her Christmas present by then.
I've just dropped a link in the room for VaporJoes.ca. That's the Canadian blog. If you would like a list of most of the links, now I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be a little tougher tonight because I haven't been able to capture them as we go. So I'm going to recreate this from memory as best I can. But if you'd like a links list from tonight, what we do is we mail that out. So run on over there. A little ways down the page, you'll find an opportunity to get on the mailing list. Get on there, and sometime tomorrow that'll go out, and you'll have all the links to go with what we talked about tonight.
Yes, and thank you guys so much for coming down and watching us.
Merry Christmas. Happy vapes to y'all.
See you guys later.